Hello, Bunny YouTube channel.
Human memory is, well, it's basically a terrible video editor.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, it takes years of grueling, agonizing effort, cuts out all the boring or painful parts, and just leaves us with a 3-second clip of pure glory. We idolize the final 10 seconds of success, and completely ignore the years of tension that preceded it.
Right, which perfectly sets up what we are looking at today in this deep dive. We tend to compress history into highlight reels, stripping away the context to just admire the final result.
That is exactly our mission today. We are analyzing a recently uploaded official FIFA video. It's titled, England's Greatest Ever FIFA World Cup Goals. Okay, let's unpack this. We're using this compilation as a lens to look at the legacy of the Three Lions ever since their famous 1966 World Cup victory.
Yeah, and the video description lists a very specific lineage of players to guide us through this. You've got Bobby Charlton, Gary Lineker, David Beckham, Michael Owen, Joe Cole, and Harry Kane.
Looking at this list, I mean, it's like tracing a generational musical playlist.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, where every era gets a completely different style of lead singer. Think about it. Bobby Charlton is the classic acoustic frontman, setting that foundational, gritty rhythm back in the 1960s.
Right, setting the stage.
Exactly. Then you jump forward to David Beckham, who is just pure pop-era synth. Flashy, culturally dominant, hitting these mathematically precise free kicks.
And then, of course, you arrive at Harry Kane.
Right.
Kane is, well, he's modern digital production, highly optimized, data-driven, and meticulously engineered.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
Thanks. But what's really fascinating here is how these names don't just show different personalities. They actually map the tactical evolution of football. Like, in Charlton's era, the ball was heavier, pitches were muddy.
Basically playing in swamps sometimes.
Exactly. And playmaking relied heavily on raw physical endurance and just localized team chemistry.
It was a much more organic, almost improvisational game back then.
Yeah, and by the time you reach Kane, you are seeing the direct result of modern sports science.
Yeah.
The positioning is heavily analyzed through spatial data, and the finishing techniques are, biomechanically optimized. The highlight reel unwittingly shows how the sport transformed from a flowing, rugged game into a highly technical, precise machine.
I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
But honestly, don't you think these highlight reels kind of ruin the sport?
How do you mean?
Well, by stripping out the 89 minutes of agonizing tension, aren't we just left with a cheap sugar rush? A compilation of isolated bangers completely ignores what makes those goals matter in the first place. You're just watching a ball hit a net over and over.
I see why you'd say that, but if we connect this to the bigger picture, I'd actually argue the highlight reel relies on the viewer bringing that invisible tension with them.
Really? You think people bring that context automatically?
I do, and I think FIFA links this video to specific archival matches for a reason. Take the 1986 tournament, for example.
Oh, right, the Argentina match.
Exactly. The reel shows Gary Lineker scoring, but that goal only carries weight because it happened in the shadow of the infamous match featuring Diego Maradona's Hand of God.
Right, and his legendary solo run, all in the span of 8 minutes. The English team was operating under immense psychological strain against a fierce rival.
Exactly. So a striker's brilliance is really only measured by the weight of the adversity they're facing.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That explains why the archive also points to the 1998 historic thriller against Argentina.
Yes, Michael Owen.
Right, his incredible solo goal in that match isn't just a great athletic feat. It was a desperate spark of hope in a match marred by a red card and eventual penalty heartbreak.
Or look at the grueling 2018 penalty shootout against Colombia. Or even the 2006 hidden gem 2-2 draw with Sweden.
Right, so many heavy moments.
Yeah, a highlight reel isolated from that context is just geometry. But when you factor in those agonizing historical rivalries and the sheer pressure cooker of a World Cup stage, well, that geometry becomes a moment of national catharsis.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? Even if you don't follow football, this reflects how we all process our own histories.
Right, it's a very human thing.
It is. A simple compilation of memorable moments is actually a keyhole into 60 years of agonizing, ecstatic, and deeply human struggles. We just prefer to remember the moments when everything went perfectly.
Which leaves you with an interesting question to mull over. When we compress decades of complex, high-stakes events into a 3-minute montage of glorious highlights, does it distort our memory of the past?
That's a great question.
When you picture an iconic moment in your own life, do you actually remember the physical achievement itself, or do you just remember the intense, nail-biting emotion of the struggle it took to get there?